Hi everyone, so welcome to my page. I have created this page last 3 or 4 days ago because I really wanted to share my techniques that I have learned when I was in my English school, and then also the techniques that I've learned and discovered by myself when I was taking the Cambridge examinations and then the intermediate examinations, upper intermediate lessons, examinations in the Cambridge language assessment. So there are so many types of ways you can approach these types of questions, but we are trying to observe the ways that work out the most and the most efficient ways according to me, and I have discovered these ways which work out really well for me, so I thought it's a very good idea to share with you guys also. So this is the purpose of the page, and the other purposes of this page is also to discuss about the common misinterpretations on these language tests, and then also on the vocabularies and phrasal verbs and everything, There are so many types of misconceptions, apparently, because, these days examinations are becoming very popular, and then there are so many types of questions in these examinations, so there will be different ways to approach these questions according to different people. So there are going to be misinterpretations also. So these misinterpretations don't really work out in the examination, and these will be the main reasons to dragging you down, like in certain areas, if you are going to take the examination. But um, right here, we're going to observe English, but not to not a very special purpose, because we are going to be observing English. Maybe if you want to take the examination, it will be fine. You will have to take a very specific guide, a specific trainer, tutor, something like that. You have to be appropriately trained. So as I am sharing these few techniques and a few things that I have learned from my experience, these are not going to be specially made for the examination, but we are going to be using these examination question types on how to learn English efficiently and effectively. So we are going to be using them as a reference and as a very good example, because there are so many levels, different levels in the CEFR, Cambridge CEFR. So we are going to be using them as a very good material for our discussion and for our learning English. And then I am going to be speaking in English all the time in this video, because this is going to be helping us a lot in improving our level of English. Because most people like to translate English into their own mother tongues, because this helps them the most, maybe, probably, because these most people try to translate English to Burmese, or any other mother tongue. There's so many different people. So I'm not saying it's wrong. It's okay. If you get used to it, it's okay. Just do it. But the better option to learning English and the faster way to improve English with a very strong foundation is to, translate, not actually translate, but you have to tackle down the thing that you don't understand really, like maybe a new word or a new phrase. You break that down into simpler pieces that you understand very easily. So this is how you try to approach English and how to learn English. And the other thing is that by doing so, just like in the English dictionaries, English to English dictionaries, you are going to be seeing a phrasal verb and then its definition in English. So this is in English to English. So that's why I will be trying to speak in English all the time in this video, so that we are trying to be doing an English to English conversation and to practice our English like this. And then the other thing is that this will help in our listening skills as well, because by doing so in the listening test and in the real world as well, you will be trying to be communicating in a lot of people, very different people, like all over the world. There are so many different people with so many different accents, and you will be trying to listening to those different accents, and then you will be able to understand any type of accent that they will be talking in. So this will be also helping in our listening skills, your listening skills when you're listening to this. So yeah, this is going to help us a lot in the skills as well. So as I was saying, there are four main skills in English: reading, writing, listening, and then speaking. And the most important thing, the most fundamental thing in these four skills is that the use of English. Because if you can't understand, if you can't use the use of English appropriately, you are going to have so many messed up sentences and then you're going to be like very messy structures. So it is the most important thing to understand the use of English. And then that is the most important part in all of these skills. Because in reading, it's like reading, but in the fill in the blanks types, and then in the blank types and then multiple choices and everything like that, there's so many question types anyway. So you'll be given a paragraph, maybe a long paragraph and with short or a short paragraph, and you will have to underline the main words, and then you'll have to go to the question and then really answer it. In these types of questions, it may seem like it's really easy. Like it may seem it's just reading and then just selecting what is already given in the question. But it is not actually like that, because you need to understand vocabulary and grammar, like grammatical structures and patterns and everything. That is the use of English. And in writing, the use of English is the most important part ever. So what we're going to be doing today is to go over the use of English in the writing, because this is the most fundamental part to begin with. And then it is going to be a B1 level, the intermediate level, because this is like the most suitable part and the best part for most people to begin really diving into the language of English. So yeah, let's go and see it. So this is the Google Slides, like the PowerPoint thing. I have actually prepared these things, like 10 pages of these, and I will be trying to show you the ways how to approach the types of essays and the letters and emails and everything. So yeah, let's begin. Intermediate writing, intermediate level writing in the use of English. And so the use of English for writing is the most fundamental thing, just like we've talked about. And so this is an example from a test from the Cambridge examination. So number one, this is the use of English exercise. So I enjoyed learning languages at school. So the bold letter here is enjoyed. So I used blank learning languages at school. So what you are supposed to do right here is just to change the form of the bold letter, the enjoyed, to another form with the same word of enjoy, but you have to change the form. So you see enjoyed here. This is the past tense. Like this is the past simple of the question, the sentence, according to what we're given. So here we see I used, a verb, and then used is the past simple, like a simple past tense. So I used blank learning languages at school. So what you're trying to do is to change the form of enjoy into another form, but you have to be like different form, but the same word, and you have to mean exactly the same as in the question. So I use blank learning languages at school. So used plus something. So use plus something is like, that sounds very familiar because it's a phrasal verb, and then it's a phrase. So used to plus verb. So used to plus infinitive, so you have to write enjoy. I used to enjoy learning languages at school. So number two, I went to France because I wanted to improve my French. I went to France is an action, and because is like showing the reason. I wanted to improve my French. So this is obviously the reason why the person went to France. So the reason why the person did this action. So we have to write this in another completely different sentence, but in the exactly same meaning. So here it said, I wanted to improve my French, blank, I went to France. So I went to France is an action, and I wanted to improve my French is the reason. So this is like switched, like the front part goes to the last part and the last part goes to the first part. So this is going to be really different, but you have to mean exactly the same, so don't forget that. And the instruction, the very important instruction, is do not write more than 3 words. So you can write 1 to 3 words, but you can't write it's a 4 word. If you are trying to write 4 words, then it's kind of wrong, something is wrong. This is not what the question wants you to do, so there is something wrong with your answer. So here it said, I wanted to improve my French. This is the reason I went to France. Action. For that reason, I went to France. So for that reason means the same as so. Because and then so. They mean kind of the same, but it is not exactly the same, because you see, I went to France because I wanted to improve my French. The action is here, and then the reason is at the back of the sentence, and that is the because form. And I wanted to improve my French is the reason, and for that reason I went to France. So for that reason means so. So the answer is going to be I wanted to improve my French, so I went to France. So here, because and then so. You see, you have to fix the form of because into another word, but this is not a verb or anything like that, so you need to fix it completely. And number 3, I prefer speaking English to writing it. So prefer to. Prefer to means that you like one thing more than the other. So it's not actually like replacing things. Like, for example, I prefer, according to this question, I prefer speaking English to writing it means I like speaking English better. And then I like speaking English than to write English. So it's like you like speaking English more than writing it. So just like that, it is like a degree, it's just a kind of a comparison, but it's not actually replacing anything. You mean that you like the one thing more than the other thing. So just like that, I like speaking English, blank, writing it. So you like speaking English, prefer to means more than or better than writing it. So in the blank, it's going to be I like speaking English better than or more than writing it. So prefer to change it into better than or more than writing it. So you mean that you like speaking English more than writing it. I mean, in this form, in this case, if you write rather than writing it, it's not going to be very appropriate, because rather than it's like I'd rather speak English than writing it. So this is like a replacing form. In the question, it doesn't contain any form of or any meaning of replacing one thing with another thing. So it just says prefer to, and then you like one thing more than the other. If you like one thing more, you like one thing less, the another thing less. So this is prefer to. So you mean you like speaking English more than or better than writing it. So number 4, I was taught Italian by a very good teacher. So the very good teacher right here is the person who did the action, meaning that you were taught Italian. And this I right here is the object of the sentence, because this person right here was being taught, not actually being taught, but this person was taught. So this is a passive form. And then the very good teacher right here is the person who did the action, the person who taught Italian to the speaker in this question, in this sentence. So right here we are given the teacher blank taught me Italian was very good. So the teacher, the doer here, the person who did the action is at the very top of the sentence, the front part of the sentence, the first part of the sentence. The teacher blank taught me Italian was very good. So taught me Italian. Who taught me Italian? The teacher. So you are trying to find a connective word like which refers back to the teacher. So taught me Italian. Who taught me Italian? The teacher. So the teacher taught me Italian. So you have to write something right here that refers back to the teacher. So the teacher is a person, so you have to write who. You can't write which because teacher is a person and a human being. So you have to write the teacher who taught me Italian was very good. So taught me Italian was the teacher's action. And taught me Italian, we have to refer back to the teacher. So the teacher who taught me Italian was very good. Alright, so number 5, I'm better at languages than any other subject. So I am better at languages than any other subject means that you are very good at languages. Like this is probably your best part of the language, of the subjects. Languages is also a subject, but um, not like any other subject like maths and chemistry. Languages are not like that. This is literature and things like that, you know, languages. You are better at languages than any other subject. It means that you are good, you are the best, like you perform the best in your languages subject than any other subject, academic subject. So you do the best in your languages than any other subject means you are good in any other subject but not as good as the languages thing. So that means that this is a comparison also. So you have to change better at or just better into a completely new form, but you have to mean exactly the same. So better at languages means it's invincible, you know, you can't this is your best language, your best performance in your language and the language subject than any other subject. So languages are my blank subject. So my blank subject. This part right here, we have to add an adjective because adjective plus noun, you know, my blank subject. So you have to change better to best. So languages are my best subject or your best performance. Your best performance in your languages than any other subject. So yeah. So just like that, the use of English is the very fundamental part to doing everything and to mastering all the 4 skills at once. And then that will be like um, you have a very strong foundation to tackle down all the 4 skills in the English language assessments. Once you get the hang of vocabulary and grammar and everything, the sentence structures correctly, like that means the use of English, the general use of English. When you use the English, the language of English correctly, you will be able to master all the 4 languages, 4 skills like eventually you will be able to master all these 4 skills in the English language. So yeah, that was all for today in this video, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.